Hello guys, this is the part 2 of ASP.NET MVC web application CRUD operations. In the previous video, we performed this create and read operations. Now in this video, we are going to perform the update and delete operations. So the thing is, if you haven't seen the previous video, you must watch that because we are continuing this video from that point. Okay. Now to see the current process, we can open this application. Okay, now we created this employee. Here we have employee, so to create a new one I can say create here. Okay, now we have to add update and delete button in this row. For that, you have to open this index.cs html in the employee folder. Okay, now here we are going to add another column. Then I will say column head here, update delete. Okay, here we have to perform some links, so I will say th, that should be th. Okay, I am going to say a tag here to create a link, asp hyphen action is equals to double quotations, and we can come up to there soon. And here I am going to say edit. Okay, and we are going to create another table th here. Here should be th. Now here we are going to create another link, asp hyphen action, then action equals to double quotations. Inside this I will say delete. All right, now here let's see what's happening. So I'm going to run this to see whether these buttons are visible or not. Now what I will do is specify this asp hyphen action value as edit. So we are going to create that method in the controller. Open the controller, employee controller. Here we are going to say public I action result edit. Okay, now here we have to take the user ID. Here it is a int in the model. Here the ID is a int, so that's why I am taking int value to there. So after that, in the controller I am going to add braces. Inside the braces, firstly we have to return the item from the database. I will say var item is equals to underscore db context, here this one. Okay, and I am going to say dot employees dot find. Now in the parentheses we can say id, the parameter available here. Okay, now after that I am going to check whether this item or employee, here let's call that as employee, so it is more readable. Then if employee is null, so we can return a error. I will say return not found. So this is a built-in option that available us to show not found error, not found parentheses semicolon. and after that we can return view. So, I will return employee to our edit page. Now, here we do not have any view called edit. So, we are going to create that here in the employee folder, in the views folder. I will click at new file, then I will select to raise a view. I am going to specify the name as edit. Okay. So, in the controller, that is it. So, we can go ahead and run again, and we can create the required post method or post functions to update the database. So, here let me check. Here if we go to edit page, here it is working. So, we need to show current data there. Now, open the edit view. Here I am going to say at model and specify the model name. Here in the employees folder, here we have models folder, this one. Inside that we have our model, which is this employee. Okay. So, after that we can show some message by H2. In the H2 I can say edit employee. Now, I am going to create a form here. This form action as ASP-action, action is edit. So, after that the method will be post. Okay. Now, I will create the ending tag. Inside this form I am going to create div class. So, the class as form hyphen group. Okay. Now, the first thing that we have to edit is the name. So, I will say label ASP-4 name. Now, after that I will say the class for this as inside double quotations control hyphen label. Okay. Now, the next one will be input ASP-4 name. The class I am going to say the same thing here. Okay, now not same thing, so that will be form control. All right. Now, here we created the input field for edit, allow to edit the name, but we need to show the ID also. For that I can copy this one and then paste that here. Then I will say ASP-4 the ID. Okay. Then also here ASP-4 ID, but the thing is we have to make this read only. For that we can say here read only. So, user will not able to edit that. Okay. Now, after that I am going to copy this thing and paste that here. So, we have another field in the model which is here email and the phone. Firstly, we can add the email ASP-4 email to this label and ASP-4 email to this input. Okay. So, also we can predefine some validations. Okay. So, for example, we can say span ASP-4 validation hyphen 4 equals to inside double quotation name. So, I will say the class for this as text hyphen danger. Now, in the span tag like this. Now, we are going to do the same thing for this email. So, finally, this phone one I can say ASP hyphen for phone here, that for the label. I am going to do that for the input. Okay. So, here ASP validation for phone. Alright. Now, after that we can click create the save button here. I can use the same thing in index in the create page here, this one submit one. I am going to copy that and paste that here. So, I will explain that here. Div class, here that should be class, div class equals to MB hyphen tree. That means that this is some bootstrap template for that, and then here I am creating the input type as submit and given the value as save. So, instead I can say update, and the class is btn primary. Okay. Now, we haven't created our controller post method, but we can go ahead and see whether details are showing or not. Now, if we press this edit, here we can see no data is visible here. That because open your index.cshtml, and here you can see we are passing this edit ASP action, but the thing is we are not passing the ID for that. So, after this ASP action value, I will say ASP hyphen route hyphen ID equals to, now inside double quotations at item the model, okay, the employee, this item employee. So, always use your model name here dot ID. Alright. Now, if we stop this and run again, here I am going to click edit. Now, we can see these data are visible to me. Alright. Now, in the edit one, when we click this submit, we are going to send a post request. To receive the post request inside this employee controller, I am going to create a new method as http post, and then we have to say public I action result, and I will say edit. So, this will take in the argument as the ID int ID and the model which is employee, and the name as employee we can provide like this. Now, I am going to create braces. Inside the braces, firstly I am checking whether this ID is equals to our model dot ID, employee dot ID. For that I can say if ID, here I will check not equals to, so we can easily return error. Here I will say employee dot ID. Now, if this not equals to, so we can return a not found, or return not found parenthesis and semicolon. Now we are going to create another if statement to check whether model state is correct. So I will say in the if statement model state and then dot is valid, and then put braces. Inside the braces I will say underscore db context this variable dot update. In the parenthesis I will say item the model this one, and the next one is save the changes. For that we can say underscore db context dot save changes, finally put parenthesis and semicolon. Now after everything you can see this shows us an error because if these things are executed, so we have to finally return a view. So I will say return view, I am going to say employee because we are going to show the recent changes in the edit page after this thing are happening. Now I hope this is working, so we can go ahead and run again. Now if I change this email into ashain@gmail.com and this phone number, let's see, let's check all the data. Now you can see these data are changed, the email and also the phone number. Now if I change this phone number into correct phone number here, that is updated. Okay, now edit is working. Now it is up to you to manage how these redirections are working. For example, if update is working, you have to redirect your page into the main list. It is up to you, you can go ahead and find it. So I might come up with a tutorial in the future for that. So now we are going to take a look at the final thing, which is delete option. Here I am going to open my index.cshtml. Here we have this ASP action delete. So I will say ASP hyphen action double quotations, inside that delete. So in the employee controller I am going to create the method public I action result as delete. Okay. Now put parentheses. Inside the parentheses we are going to ask what is the ID. So the ID can be received using int ID. Now put braces. Inside the braces I am going to check var. Okay, we can do the same thing in our edit method, this one, var employee equals to underscore db context dot employees dot find id. Now if this employee is not existing, so we can return this not found error. If existing, so we can return this view. And the next thing is create the view called delete. Here I will right click this employees folder, click new, then select razor view. I am going to say the razor view name as delete. Okay. So and after that I am going to show all the data that we show in the edit file. So, here I am going to paste that in the delete. We are taking add model, then having employees, this project name dot models, this models folder. Inside that we have this model. Okay. Now, in this form, currently we are showing a form. Instead, I am going to delete this form also here and delete this submit button. After that, I am going to set everything as read only. Also, this name input field as read only, this email input field as read only, this input of phone read only. So, I can go ahead and relaunch the application by stopping and rebuilding. Now, I can press this delete. Here currently it is not showing us the data, that because we haven't set index.ch.html link of ASP hyphen route hyphen id. So, we have to set this equals to double quotations and the at symbol, then employee dot id. Alright. Now, here we are passing the employee id, the current selected id, to the delete page. Now, we can see so here I am going to just refresh this page and go to delete. Here we can see these data. So, we can add the delete button in this delete page. We can create a new form. I am going to say form ASP hyphen action is equals to double quotations, inside that delete. That means we are going to create a post method. So, and then ASP route for this, ASP route hyphen id equals to add model dot id. We are receiving the id from our model here. Now, here I am going to specify what is the method as post. Okay. Now, inside this form I am going to create input field, input type as submit, okay, and value as delete, and the class as btn, then space btn hyphen danger. All right, and below of that I am going to create the cancel button, ASP hyphen action equals to index. Here this will call to this index method, this one. So, here I am going to define the class as btn hyphen secondary. So, specify the text of that as cancel. All right. Now, here come to the end. In the employee controller I am going to create the post method. After this delete method I can say square brackets http post, and then after that also some method name, let's say public I action result delete. Okay, public I action result delete. So here we are taking the int id, also the model employee. Okay, now at braces, inside the braces I am going to say var, still here we have the employee model, so we don't have to do that. Instead I can say if employee equals to null. Now if this equals to null, so I can say return not found. Okay, now in the below of this if statement I can say this model state is valid code if model state is valid. So then I will say underscore db context dot employees dot remove. Here we have to pass in this employee object. Now after the semicolon I am going to save the changes. Underscore db context dot save changes and then parentheses. So finally we can go ahead and redirect. As I told you earlier, you can use this method to do redirection. Say return redirect to action and then parentheses. Here inside parentheses I will say name of parentheses, inside parentheses index method. Okay, now I dismiss the braces, that's why add the brace. So that's all. So I can go ahead and run again to see changes. I am going to delete this, click delete. Okay, now the deleting is not working, so that could be due to this employee object is not receiving. Let me check. Okay, that object is not receiving that because here in the delete I am having this thing above our form. So I am going to cut that and paste that here and run again. So guys, I will include this latest changes including whole project in the video description, so you don't have to worry. I am going to delete this. Okay, now the data is deleted. Okay, I hope this video helps. If this video helps, please subscribe. Thank you very much.